sing it now on words. With the company. 1, 2. Thank you. Back to with the accompaniment. 1, 2. Engage. Yeah. Keep going. Engage. Good. Engage. Yeah. On words now. On words. On words. 1, 2. Yeah. Tell you the reason we do the you have this lovely rich sound that you're singing with, but it's just disconnected from the core of your being, and this engages all of what we are, and literally a whole different choir from when you just started singing to when you did and you came back in. Every time you have a note longer than an eighth note in this entire piece, it needs to have some kind of motion. I'm also going to tell you something else. There's a rule in singing called the rule of the dotted quarter note. And the rule of the dotted quarter note says whenever there's a dotted quarter note followed by an eighth note, it's always implied that there is a crescendo there. Almost always. There are exceptions to that rule, and when the exception comes, whoever's conducting you at the moment will let you know when that exception comes. Can you follow, as you're singing and reading your music, can you follow the rule of the dotted quarter note? And literally every time you have a dotted quarter note followed by an eighth note, there needs to be a forward spin, a little more sound, and then taper back into the sound. Every single time throughout this entire piece. Okay, we'll follow the rule of the dotted quarter note. And I have a whole chart of like Mr. Blake's like rules of singing. And it's just things that when you see this happens. Every time you see a comma, we may lift. And it's just different things like that. So the rule of the dotted quarter note is that every time you have a dotted quarter note followed by eighth note, I want there to be this forward spinning motion. From the beginning, please. Any note longer than an eighth note has to have spinning motion. Any note longer than an eighth note in this piece. 1, 2. Can you have this happening even within the phrase? There's this big phrase and then there's this mini phrase. Let's try that. Spinning forward motion happens immediately on the O. Immediately on the O. Ooh, love. And there's an open space on the word love. 1, 2. Yeah, and you're not going to take a breath in between the two. You're just going to taper back the sound and restart the sound right there. That's shaping a phrase within a phrase. It's quite lovely, quite lovely. Hold up, 1, 2. Spin. Here comes the dotted quarter note. Space. Yeah. Space. Dotted quarter notes. Move. Yeah, can you send the sound through each note instead of singing to each note? I literally want you to sing da 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 da. Sing through each note. I love how I'm starting to see the sound literally envelop all of your being. Overall, I hear the forward movement, even a lot more space. Can we start on, I give thee back the life I owe? But better than that. Every note longer than the eighth note has some kind of movement to it. Can we do that whole phrase on okay? I don't know what these people say raspberry, I guess. I always just say and my car just knows what that means, but do it on the 1, 2. Move it. Engage. Here. Got a quarter note? Good. Let's sing it. I give. You gotta stretch out your nose. Here, I give. 1, 2. Yeah. Move to space. Nice. Yeah, you're starting to think now. You're starting to think. Here we go. Hey, lovely rich sound. Can you do something for me? Here's the rule of the diphthong. Okay, there's a rule for everything. Rule for the diphthong is 95% on the first vowel, 5% on the second vowel. You probably have heard this before, maybe not explained this way, but you've heard. So the word joy has O and E as the two vowels that come together. 95% on the O, 5% on the E. It's like you make this banging pot of gumbo. Okay, I don't know if you eat gumbo, but I like gumbo. You make this, this banging pot of gumbo. Just sit up tall. You make this banging pot of gumbo, and literally, like you just put like 1 drop of like sewage water in the gumbo, and I don't care how big the pot is. I'm not eating it. Okay, I don't care how, like literally that 1 drop ruins the whole thing. Same thing. When you have that E and it's too much of that E on oi, it just ruins the beautiful shape and the beautiful tone that you created on that joy. Almost like the E is non-existent actually. Almost like it's non-existent. Let the sound ride on the vowel, on the whole vowel as you sing that. Sit up tall, please. Pick up to 26. Altos. 1, 2. Yeah, as you're coming in, two things. Breathe on the vowel that precedes the sound. So the vowel that